Alrighty, welcome to another vintage cube draft. This is Single-Elim, and I am going to try my hardest to not be eliminated singly here. We've been on a rough cube streak, but you know what? Always time to turn it around, and all we can do, try to be the best Magic players we can be. I say we, but it is actually me who is the person doing the losing. You get to do the watching. Alright, what are we doing here? Well, lamenting a bad pack. There's a Prismatic Vista, a Miscalculation, a Griselbrand, a Trop. These are not really the dream first picks. I think I'll just take Prismatic Vista and kind of figure out what's going on. All right, you know what? As much as I like Underworld Breach, I think the right pick here is 4th Year Lingus, so I'm just going to take that. 4th Year Lingus is really strong. For 4 or 5 mana, you can get a pretty big advantage right away if the board is clear. Later in the game, it just kills them. There's just a lot this card does, and you don't even have to attack with it. Sometimes you play it defensively, and that's fine too. Plus, it's relatively splashable since it gets better over time. Ocelot Pride is also a really strong card, but I think 4th Year Lingus looks like a better call here. And then, well, here's a Caracas. Okay, this is a good place to be. I do like Bloodstained Mire a lot and Flage. I'm hoping Flage wheels, actually, which would be possible, but I am definitely going to take Caracas. Caracas also good against Flage or good with it. You can use it as basically repeatable 4-mana Lightning Helix, which against some decks is very good. And here, we're just going to take a good, clean Lightning Bolt. I don't really see a reason to move away from red-white, given the packs that we've gotten past. And as much as I like Remand or Fire Covenant, I know it's a meme. Look, Fire Covenant's a great card. It's just relatively hard to cast, so you're not always in a position to take it. Here, I think it would be crazy to take anything but Lightning Bolt. So we've got a good start. This could go a lot of different directions. Prismatic Vista's flexible. Getting past 4th Year Lingus into Caracas makes me feel a lot better about my first pick because I got 2 first pick quality cards in a row here. And then Bolt is just good, clean, efficient removal. So this could end up obviously red-white aggro. Could be like red-blue splash 4th Year Lingus aggro or control. Could be something else entirely. Though the longer it goes, the more it's looking like red-white aggro because I think I'm supposed to take either Rabblemaster or Glimmerlens here. I don't really think Malcolm makes sense, and Virtue is okay, but I like Glimmerlens more. I'm actually leaning towards the Lens. I found this card to be pretty good. If you lead with a 1-drop, it just attacks and draws a card on turn 2, or well, turn 3, after casting it turn 2, and then later in the game you can flicker it with Flicker Wisp, you can get it with Stoneforge Mystic. Rabblemaster is good too, but I like 2s over 3s when you have the option. Well, here I think it's pretty clear we're supposed to just take Inti. Really good. Abrade is good, but I already have a Bolt, and Inti is really strong if you're aggressive, so I'll take Inti here, and still pretty happy with the Glimmerlens pick. And then here, I actually think I'm going to take Eagles of the North. Rampaging Raptor is pretty replaceable in red-white. There's just a lot of good 4s. Elspeth, for example, is another good 4. Wandering Emperor, Hero Blade Hold, all that. And it's double red, which doesn't look like it's going to be too big of an issue in this deck because I'm already going for a lot of red cards. But I like Eagles. If you end up with a red-white duel, which I'm going to try very hard to do, it's good fixing. Here I'm going to take Usher into Glimmerlens. That's kind of what we're looking for here. If that Ocelot Pride wheels, I'll be really happy. Though I think I will take Burst Lightning here over Meticulous Archive. I think we should just be red-white. That's what the packs seem to be indicating, and our best cards are at their best in red-white as well, so seems like a good path to go down. Well, Ocelot Pride wheeling is probably too much to ask for, but Revoker's fine. Revoker can mess with what they've got. Oh, Seasoned Pyro? All right, we're in a little more token-based deck now, but I think that's kind of cool. Staff of the Storyteller could be good. Oh, Inspiring Vantage. That's a great pickup. A red-white duel? All right. I think that we're well positioned here. We're in one of the best decks in the cube. It appears to be open. I guess I'm more likely to want Copperline Gorge than the other two. They're all pretty marginal. I don't think I'm going to splash or anything. All right. Going into pack 2 here. Had a really productive pack 1. 12 playables, including a bunch of mana fixers, which is really important for red-white. If you want to cast Usher of the Fallen and Seasoned Pyromancer on curve, which you do, you need a lot of lands. Now there's a Sacred Foundry versus a Mother of Runes, and there's an Elspeth in the pack as well. Elspeth's a clear 3rd. It's really just between those two, and I kind of think I just take Sacred Foundry. I've got an Eagles to go get it. I have a double red, I have early red and early white. Mother of Runes sometimes does wheel, and one of those two probably wheels, one of Elspeth and Mother of Runes, that is. Don't mean Bazaar, Baghdad, no more lies. And I think just Plateau is so important for these decks. Wow, now there's Pyrogoyf, Felia, Figure, and Path. I've got some good cheap removal. I think I'm going to take Pyrogoyf. This card just seems amazing to me. And if Felia or Figure wheels, I'll be really happy. Path probably won't, but this leaves 3 kind of mono white cards in the pack, one of which might wheel, whereas Pyrogoyf definitely won't. So I like where we're at. Oh, Fable? Yeah, Fable's great. Just always is. And Lorette is good and all, but Fable is just unreal. Flage didn't wheel, by the way, now I'm thinking about it. So someone else probably is in red-white, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily an aggressive red-white. They could just be in like a Jeskai control sort of deal. Well, it makes me sad to pass Sneak Attack. I love this card, but I'm going to take Dragon's Rage Channeler. I've also got like a lot of different types in this deck, so I feel like it's going to be nice. Fuels my Pyrogoyf, and I don't think Mana Tithe is that big of a loss. Plus, this deck's actually got the mana to play red and white early drops, which these decks don't always. Though I'm not getting as many white cards. I think that I'm still happy enough being red-white, but it is true that this pack I've gotten a little cut. I think I'll take Bone Crusher. It's not my favorite, but I don't really want to splash anything. And then, oh, I really like Arena of Glory. It's great with Pyrogoyf, Bone Crusher. Could be okay with Pyro. Pretty nice with Inti. All right, I'll take that over Portable Hole. I don't mind Portable Hole, but I've got a couple cheap removal spells already, so I'm not feeling the loss of that too badly. And here, I don't think I'm going to play Flare of Duplication, though I do have a couple cheap red creatures. These are kind of nice to sack. I think I'll just take White Orchid Phantom. I don't think the card's great, but it is definitely playable. Ooh, it's a nice little late Chain Lightning, and while I do like City of Traders in some red-white decks, this is definitely a Chain Lightning deck, not a City of Traders deck. I've got a pretty low curve and kind of a lot of burn now. I could definitely just burn people out. Oh, Mother of Runes wheeled. The gamble worked out quite nicely. That means this next pack should also be kind of nice, because coming up is the pack where I took Pyrogoyf over a couple of decent white weenie cards. So let's hope we get there's like Felia and Figure of Destiny, and there's like one more, I think, that looked decent. Oh, Path to Exile. I don't think that one's coming back. I don't think it was this pack. It might have been, though. I'll just take a black-white Surveil land that I'm probably not going to play. All right, and here, I guess I'll take a Shadow Spear. Oh, I guess I didn't wheel any of those. Weird. Mother of Runes wheeled, but then that pack with all those other cards didn't. All right. I'll take Mana Tithe. Maybe I'll side that in. Same with Silent Clearing. And I guess Witherbloom I'd rather not play against. I don't really know how that... The Mother of Runes and Elspeth both wheeled, and then... Fair enough. I guess Figure of Destiny is also a red card. All right. Well, going into pack 3, obviously we don't have like any busted cards, but kind of like where this is at. All right, here there's a Wooded Foothills, a Skull Clamp, a Laelia, and a Wasteland. I guess technically a Blade Splicer too, but it's enough weaker than the rest I wouldn't consider it. Not a bad Skull Clamp deck. It's got like Usher is particularly good with Clamp. Dragon's Rage is okay. In a pinch you can Mother of Runes. But that's like about it. Revoker, I guess. Wooded Foothills obviously would be great at just getting Sacred Foundry. And then there's Laelia and Wasteland. Not looking like the best Wasteland deck. It's got a little bit... It doesn't have any like of the really busted low drops like a Ragavan or something. I kind of want to just take... say Wooded Foothills here. And I think that is what I'm going to do. And then now I can take Scalding Tarn. And then I can just take spells pretty much the rest. My mana at this point is great. Oh, like Hero of Bladehold. I don't have tons of 4s. I have a Mother of Runes. All right. Hero of Bladehold over Prismatic Ending. Seems good to me. And this is how I get to play double red, double white cards in the same deck. You know, 1-drops in both colors. Like having Wooded Foothills Sacred Foundry to both go get... Wooded Foothills Scalding Tarn to go get Sacred Foundry, a Prismatic Vista, and Inspiring Vantage, plus an Eagles as kind of like a tapped Sacred Foundry. I have 6 red-white lands, and that is exactly what you need. All right, well, I guess I will still take Plateau. Plateau is very good, so... Plus, now my fetch lands get a lot less painful, and the second one can still get a red-white land, which that can definitely come up. Now I wish I had just taken, Lelia, because I got a plateau, another fetch, and then I guess another fetch, sure. I just think taking like Lion Sash or like the Voldaren Epicure is just way too weak. So let's not do that. Maybe Manatide is going to get played. That's fine. Here, honestly, now I might just take Teferi because I just picked up Flooded Strand and Scalding Tarn, and I have Prismatic Vista. I just don't think there's any card here. I don't really care about Delayed Blast Fireball. Do not need a tapped red-white land. All right, I'll take a little Teferi. Why not? Maybe that'll make the cut. All right, and here, late Thoughtseize. Kumano faces Kakazan or Lightning Greaves or Steel Seraph. I kind of like Kumano faces Kakazan. Just one drops are great. I've got a pretty low curve, decent amount of twos. So I think that this could be good. And then, oh, that's a nice late Smuggler's Copter. Sorry, Pyrokinesis. Copter's definitely the pick. Okay. Now we're at 19 land. We wield a Wasteland. All right, I'll play that as like an extra spell. That's fine. Wasteland is good. I just didn't want to first pick it. And I really don't need too much more here. Ooh, and now Death Greeter Champion came back. There's also Unexpectedly Absent, but this deck could definitely use Death Greeter. We're looking to be very aggressive. I'll cut a Ledger Shredder here. Right now I'm at 18 land plus an Eagles, which is basically 19 land. Though 2 of my lands are kind of like spells, and Arena even does something too. So I wouldn't mind one more card, but I'd also be fine playing this as is if that's where we end up. And none of these are my one more card. Because I also don't mind playing the Teferi. Teferi with a bunch of burn spells can be pretty good against control. They just can't counter any of your stuff. Rebouncing the Pyroglyph is nice. And, oh, Voldaren Epicure or Blazing Rootwalla. This looks like a Voldaren Epicure deck, I think. I don't have any ways to discard. And, oh no, I guess I have Smuggler's Copter and Fable. Those are my ways to discard. Yeah, I'm fine with just playing Voldaren Epicure. I think that card's pretty decent. Just, if I'm just trying to burn them out, I think the Epicure will be helpful. All right, let's go to deck building. And deck building is done. I already had every playable in, so if there's a Shadow Spear I could play, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play 1 island, and 3/3/1 I assume is going to be great mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 duels, so it's basically 11/11, and then 4 blue sources. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should be great. Let's get in there. All right, time for round 1. I would like to play first. Yeah, I will keep this hand. It's not the most spell-heavy hand, but I think turn 1 Kumano, turn 2 Usher is a pretty decent little start, and I'll just go and fetch my plateau now, I think. Don't see a reason to wait on that. And then this way, I get a 3/2 Usher on turn 2 and hope to draw good 3-drop. I mean, if I drew something I could haste with Arena of Glory, that'd be pretty nice. All right, opponent's at 19, and let's see what we're battling. We've got turn 1 Plateau Kumano faces Kakazan is quite the statement. That has a lot of implications about what deck we're playing, so I wonder how my opponent's going to answer me. What I want to see, I guess you don't typically want to play against green decks all that much with this kind of deck. Control decks tend to be a slightly better matchup. All right. Plains Ruby Talisman. Okay. They're busy. Let's just draw some not lands, huh? I was going to go get the island with the Scalding Tarn. I guess I don't have to. So I have the Mana Tithe, so I'll play Usher, get a 3/2, and play Scalding Tarn here and pass the turn. I don't really have a reason to wait, so I think I'm just going to go and get a tapped Sacred Foundry now and hope that next turn I have a 3-drop to play here. All right, they're on Plains, so they could just be red-white also, but less likely to be aggressive with Talisman, more likely to be bigger. All right, Blade Splicer. Fair enough. Sacred Foundry. They make a 3/3. I get to flip my Kumano Faces Kakazan, but I can't really attack here. And really just any 3-drop would be nice. Fable would maybe be the best one because it would let me trade in some of these lands in hand for something else. Okay, White Orchid Phantom. That would have been nicer to draw last turn to make this a 3/3 flyer, but this is still okay. I'm not going to blow... Oh, you know what? I might actually destroy one of my own lands here. I feel like I've got enough lands of both colors that I'm just going to go ahead and blow up the plateau. Opponent is trying to figure out what we're up to here. The answer is we're just casting our spells. And I've got white, and then I've got red, so I guess I'll just get a plains. I don't know. It's pretty close. Oh, White Orchid is actually, funnily, a way to get an island. Huh. That actually could come up. That's funny. They have the 3rd land as well. Let's see if they have some more big stuff. Currently, they could attack with the Golem, but they would get attacked back for more if they don't have anything. So I'm assuming they're going to play something, though. And this is an Intrepid Adversary. The likely paying an extra 2. Okay, so they get a 4/2, and their Golem's now a 4/4. I still don't think attacking's actually great for them. I mean, we'll see what I draw. I guess it depends if they have a removal spell or not. Let's see. Okay, Revoker's not awful. Let's Arena of Glory Exerting, I think. I'm going to name Talisman. Actually, I'm going to name Mox Ruby. I feel like that's even a better name. And then I'm going to send in... I think I'll send in everything but the White Orchid. Leave that back to block the Intrepid Adversary. And their Blade Splicer can go ahead and block Revoker or Usher if they want, but they're both pretty decent, so I'm not too worried. And then I will go ahead and just make a token with this Usher of the Fallen. All right. No blocks, just taking it all. Sure. If they have a way to kill the White Orchid Phantom, it's kind of annoying because then their Intrepid Adversary does get to attack me. But if they don't, I got to hit them for 7 and make a token, and that seems pretty good. I have a lot of stuff in play. I mean, this could be going worse. All right, they're sending in everything. Huh. All right, I guess I will block. I'm just going to block here because it feels like they've got a trick. There's no way they don't. Oh. Okay, I guess I could have blocked the Blade Splicer. Are they just wrathing? Sure. That's fair. All right. Play an island past the turn. So I traded 2 for 4. Not a great deal. But after their... Oh, no, 3 because they lost this thing. Why is it? Oh, it got exiled because of Kumano Faces Kakazan. So 3 for 4. That wasn't that bad of a deal. Got better, you know, every moment. All right, and they don't have anything. Let's hope we can draw just some threats. I don't have anything that's like that great in a top deck war. I mean, I guess a hasted Hero Blade Hold is pretty good. So hopefully that works. But I kind of feel like they've got to have removal in hand. Like what else could be in their hand here? They have 4 cards in hand, 5 mana. I guess they didn't play a land last turn or this turn. So they're 4 spells. Are they playing another color that they don't have access to? Because white, quad white, double red, 5 mana total. I can't really think of that many spells in those 2 colors that they couldn't have. So they either have removal, another color worth of spells. I don't really know. You know what? I'm going to stomp. I'm just going to do this. This seems like it's going to be worth it. They're at 10 now once this resolves, assuming it does. And I have Burst Lightning in hand. So I feel like casting Stomp, casting Bone Crusher with haste and attacking here. I mean, if this hits them, I'm in great shape. If they, oh, great. They're at 6 now, and I have a burst lightning, so they're at effective 2. And if they target the Bone Crusher, they go down to 4. I mean, I guess if they target with an ability, they don't, but like, so they could have like Council's Judgment or Leyline Binding or something, and a Planeswalker. They have to have another color in their deck. Because if they had been playing lands every turn, they could be flooded. Like I've played out my whole hand, right? They're not playing lands. They're not playing creatures. They didn't play a removal spell on this, and they just took it from 10 to 6. That's pretty intense. All right, there goes a land. I guess they either have sorceries or cards of another color. All right, well, this is a kicked Winds of Abandon. Oh, a kicked Steel Seraph. Okay. I have a decision to make. Do I attack and hope they don't block, or do I just burst lightning down their thing? Inti makes it a lot more likely. I just want to do burst lightning with kicker here. The reason I like this is because next turn I can play, they're at 2 and I can play a hasted Inti, and they can't target my Bone Crusher. If I attack and they block and then I just cast Inti, it's so much worse. This has to be better. Obviously I could have gone for the win by just attacking, and if they didn't block, then I would just burst lightning them, but this seems like the strongest play. So the person directly across from me in the draft, because I think you do play that person, so 3 seats away, there's 3 people in between us on each side, was the other person taking red and white cards, is what it appears to be, but we'll see, we'll see. All right, now they cast Balance. Oh, okay, I'll keep Island, Plains, Arena, Plateau. Yeah. I'll lose Bone Crusher, and they'll go down to 1 card in hand. I guess we're finally going to get the mystery of what they had in their hand. Did they have, were they keeping lands in hand because of Balance? No, they discarded Sunfall and a Mountain. Okay. I mean, I guess I'll exert it, but I don't think it's going to need haste. Pyrogoyf here. Nug them for 6. All right. We're going to get game 1 here. They could have a Reprieve as the only card. We have the Mana Tithe. So they're just like red-white control. They have 3 Wraths that I know of. That's fine. Getting to win the game where they played a bunch of Wraths is a pretty good deal, because playing around Wraths is not the hardest. It kind of makes me want, I mean, Arena of Glory is a great way to play around Wrath. Haste is good. I like the burn spells. Mana Tithe I think could still be good. I'm probably not going to sideboard much. This deck doesn't have a whole lot. I guess I could see putting in Shadowy Backstreet over a Plains. I don't want to put in Silent Clearing. I still think they might pressure my life total enough. The games will go long. Having 1 Surveil Land, which sadly I can only get with the Flooded Strand. My other fetches can't get it, but 1 Surveil Land's still pretty nice. All right, game 2. Okay, all right, I'm going to keep this hand. Arena of Glory being worse than a Mountain in this particular draw, because I can't play turn 1 Epicure, turn 2 Copter, but turn 2 Copter, turn 3 play Epicure or White Orchid or both seems fine to me, so not the biggest loss in the world. Okay, so they are, ooh, Smuggler's Copter, another card very, very good against Balance, Wrath, and Sunfall, so they're going to be very annoyed when I play this card unless they have like an artifact answer. Because if their plan is to Wrath me, not going to work out great. Also, this is going to happen at some point. Arena of Glory, Hero of Bladehold, that is going to be the plan. All right, turn 1, Savai Triomi. Oh, well, there we go. This makes things more convenient, doesn't it? Plateau, Eldorn, Epicure. Dink. I mean, I kind of am a burn deck. I've got Bone Crusher, Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, Burst Lightning. That's a decent amount of burn spells. I don't really want to see Talisman. Oh, they have multiple Talismans. Well, it does make it more likely I'm going to see Talisman. Oh, Teferi Time Raveler is kind of nice. Copter, unfortunately, can't get haste with Arena of Glory, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But I do get to send for 1 here. And next turn to play Teferi. That's also a pretty good card against Wrath. Oh, Teferi in play to make sure my hasted Hero of Bladehold gets a hit in. Pretty good. Let's see what their play is. I kind of like how this... My deck's a little scrappy. No power. Not even really too many of the busted cards. Like, doesn't have like Jailer, Solitude, Parallax Wave, you know, Bombardiers, any of those. They didn't play a land? All right, well, I'm going to play Teferi here because this is going to protect my Smuggler's Copter pretty nicely one way or another. This has got to be a nightmare. They just have like a burn spell in hand. They have like, I don't know, Swords to Plowshares or something along those lines in hand, and they're waiting to kill that Smuggler's Copter, and they just cannot. All right, what is this? Oh, they had a way to kill it anyway. All right, Leyline Binding. Copter. Yeah, that's pretty good, because now, even though I have Teferi, I can't stop them from doing that. Well, I'm still going to bounce the Leyline Binding, because it's the most expensive. Draw a card. And hit for 1. And then next turn, I can't actually Arena Hero, because I'll get red. I need to have another red or white source in play to do that, but still feel okay about this. They're going to nug the Smuggler's Copter again, I assume. They could Binding the Teferi. That sounds like a sure way to lose this game. Just because if I get to hit with Copter and Epic here this turn, that's a lot of damage. The Teferi's not doing anything for a few turns, but I don't know their hand. Maybe the Teferi really does mess them up. My guess is, unless they have like a Swords to Plowshares or something, it's kind of wild to not just hit the Smuggler's Copter. It's going to come across and hit you for a bunch of damage. All right, and Smuggler's Copter down. Revoker. I mean, this is kind of nice. I'm going to kind of mess with their mana here a little bit. I'm going to go White Orchid Phantom, target your Savai Triome, and then Revoker your Talisman, and they're gonna... This is gonna turn this tri-land into a red-white land, or into a mono-red land, because I think they're gonna get a mountain, or at least that'd be my guess. And then the Revoker is gonna shut off the Talisman, which is pretty neat. All right, let's blow up that. Give them a little downgrade here. Could get them an island, I guess, but that would be wild. And then Revoker... Talisman of Progress. All right, and hit for 1. That Voldaren Epic here, it's done 4 damage so far. That seems fine. I mean, it's not the best card in the world, but it could threaten to crew Copter. Nug for a bunch of damage. At some point, this Blood Token could be good, though obviously I don't need it this moment. Next turn, I mean, they're in a lot of trouble. Best case for them is they drew a land number 4 and they go land Wrath. No, I guess they could balance, but then they would lose. I would lose a land. They would lose. I'd actually lose my island because my only blue card's in play. They would lose 3 cards in hand. So balance would be a 4 for 4. Sure, can live with that. And this is a Blade Splicer. Okay. So here, let's go Arena, add red, Chain Lightning the Golem, paying a red. I don't think I'm going to attack with the Revoker, though. I want to leave that back because I don't want to trade Revoker for Blade Splicer and have them unlock their Talisman. So I'm just going to Chain Lightning the Golem, attack with everything else. I mean... because they're at 16. Because if I attack with Revoker, they block Revoker. They take 7, 10, 12. They go to 4. Whereas now I'm letting them off the hook for another couple damage. Yeah, that seems fine. Because if they don't cast Wrath next turn, they lose. If they have balance, I guess is them having balance or drawing land number 4 for Wrath is where attacking with Revoker is better. But the case that seems pretty likely is they don't have balance, or they would have cast it last turn, and they have Wrath, and they don't have a 4th land. So I think attacking with Revoker is kind of wild here. All right, the Bolt resolves. Hero of Bladehold now comes down using the haste mana. Nice, nice. And Teferi in play. I know that there's nothing they can do here. And let's send with everything but Revoker. And of course, stack things such that I get to battle cry on my 2 soldiers. All right. Hasted Hero Bladehold is pretty good. That card definitely got better when with Arena of Glory. So what are they going to do here? They can trade for one of the 3 2/1s and take 9 down to 7, or they can block and chump one of the 3 power creatures. My guess is they're more likely to chump a 3 power creature because they're just hoping to Wrath next turn. Would make the most sense to me. In which case they take 9. Yeah, they go to 7. But they can take 1 more damage and kill Epicure or one of the tokens if that seems better. Oh, are they just taking it all? I think they just took it all. Okay. They take 12 down to 4. A Hasted Eagles of the North might be coming for you in 2 turns here. Oh, is Blade Splicer going to attack Teferi or something? Why would you care about that surviving? It also makes balance that much worse. Huh. I'm kind of curious how this is going to work out. I feel like it's not going to work out great for them, but I guess we'll see. Nope, it doesn't. Boom, got a match on the board, and we are going to get on to round 2. Feels nice to get one. All right, time for round 2. On the draw, I will keep this hand and not really like it. It doesn't have an aggressive card to play early, but I do have turn 2 Bone Crusher. Let's just play the Tarn, I guess. I could play Caracas, but I kind of want them to play a Legend on turn 2 if they have it. So I'd rather not show them that's what's going on. Probably not an aggressive white deck, but I played against 2 white decks so far, which is kind of funny. I guess here I'll get Sacred Foundry because I can get Island with Prismatic Vista. Let's play Mountain and pass here. I don't really want to just fire off this Bone Crusher, but... Oh, do they have Malcolm? Or Fairy Mastermind? That's not quite what I was hoping. All right, Ancestral Recall it is. Well, they got to play something here or they discard. Maybe a Lelia that I can Bone Crusher? No, Ether Spellbomb. That's it, huh? All right, well, I'll stomp you because I'm going to play this Bone Crusher here. I just don't think it makes sense to do nothing, so... And I have more burn in hand. Cast Bone Crusher. Let them counter me if they so desire. They do. Miscalculation. All right. Jeskai Control. This is probably the person who has Flage. It's not going to be an easy one to beat. I could play Hero Bladehold. Oh, look, maybe they're artifacts. Now they played 2 kind of artifact-y cards. I don't really want to play Hero Bladehold. I think I'm just going to play Voldar and Epicure. Ping for 1. They're clearly keeping mana out for something. They could have used Mishra's Research Desk. I'm just going to pass. Though the way this is actually played out, I kind of want to Blood Token away the Prismatic Vista. Maybe I'll just wait on using the Blood Token. It's possible that the Mana Tithe is also not that great, but I feel like I'm pretty behind this game. One of the ways to win a game where you're behind is have something like Mana Tithe counter a 5-drop. So I'm going to kind of play with that as a potential out here. They're not doing anything, huh? They're just Indotha Triome. Go. So now they have all 5 colors. All right. Let's just chill. Let's get an island here. I'll lead with Pyrogoyf. It's not the best thing in the world, but yeah, they have no more lies. All right, that's fine. It's the worst of my spells. I don't mind it getting countered by no more lies. I'm curious why they're not using this research desk. I don't really know what's up with that. Like, they just want to keep their mana up, so they're not cracking it because they might force them to tap out. If they were going to miss a land drop, I'd be surprised if they didn't play it. All right. Steam Vents paying the life into a Karn Sign of Urza. Well, I see now. Now they're going to make a token. It's going to be a 3/3. All right, well, let's just take my turn. Wasteland. All right, let's kill the Indotha Triome. Okay, you can float mana, I suppose. Hero of Bladehold. See if that resolves. Oh, though I guess this one doesn't have haste. I changed my mind from casting Fourth Earlingus. I should have actually passed through their mana being there, but oh, they're gonna crack Research Desk. Sure. Remand and Skull Clamp. Oh, so Skull Clamp is gonna be the thing. And I guess I can bolt Karn. Hold on. I can bolt the Construct and attack Karn. I kind of like bolting the Construct. It's a 2/2. No, I'll just bolt the Karn. I think this is gonna ultimately be the best. And if they want to use their Ether Spellbomb, they might want to use it end of turn. No, they didn't. So they're gonna play Skull Clamp now. Make their Construct into a 3/3, sure. They can clamp it up to a 4/2. Maybe offer to trade with Hero of Bladehold. Is that kind of what they're thinking? No, they're bouncing my Hero of Bladehold now. And then tapping out for a Luris. Then going land Spellbomb. Hopefully they attack me. Okay, because that makes the fourth a little better, though. This Luris. Oh, I have an answer to Luris. Okay, I'm definitely going to kill the Luris. The question is, what do I do else? I think it actually still is play hero. I know I have Caracas for Luris, but that's not a very good answer. I think hero is going to be better because one of the ways I win is this Hero Bladehold working, and then I'll hit because they can make me not able to block the Construct very easily. Well, if I can land a Fourth Earlingus here, especially with a hero in play, that could be something pretty good. Obviously, they have Ether Spellbomb, but we'll just have to see what they play here. Jace the Mind Sculptor. This will be bounce the hero, and then hit for 3. Not tapping out, not putting Skull Clamp on it. Oh, they're playing Giver. I see. And equipping Giver with the clamp. Okay, well, I'm just going to hopefully draw a land and just play a Fourth Earlingus for 4 here. Teferi Time Raveler. That's interesting, too. Teferi will have its day eventually. I'm going to play Fourth Earlingus for 3. And I'm going to go attack Jace, attack my opponent. If they want to chump so I don't get the Monarch, that's fine. They could take it back pretty easily. I need to make sure I kill Jace, so I have to send 2 at Jace. And I want to leave back Voldar and Epic here so that if I do get the Monarch, it's not easy for them just to take it back. They'd have to like tap their Hero of Bladehold, for example. And with Skull Clamp in play, them chumping with Hero of Blade or with a Giver of Runes is a totally fine outcome for me. I just don't want to give away the Voldar and Epic here. Basically, I'm happy if they block and prevent me from getting Monarch. I'm happy if they let me have the Monarch and take 2 damage. I felt it was necessary to kill Jace. If I send one thing at Jace, they chump and then they brainstorm with Jace. That sounds a lot worse to me. Alright, so they just took it all. Oof, in a flash. That works for me. They play a Colonnade. I don't really know how we're winning this game, but it kind of feels like we are. They have a Skull Clamp that doesn't really... Oh, I see. So they're going to attack for 5. I am just going to take it then, because they're going to get the Monarch either way. If I block the Construct and then they sack the Spellbomb, they get to draw 2 cards, because it would be a 3/1 with 2 damage on it, or 1 damage on it. So let's see what their last card in hand is. Oh, they're just using Mishra's Research Desk, sure. All right. And they exiled Urza and a land. Ha! They can't play the Urza. Not this turn. They can play it next turn, but not playing Urza this turn is pretty good. I mean, what happens if I haste Deathgreeter's Champion and I target... Let's see. They're at 11. If I target Voldar and Epicure, they bounce Deathgreeter's Champion. That's not good. If they target the knight, they bounce the knight, they take 8. They take 9. So it's not quite lethal either way, the Death Greeters, which means I'm going to want a Teferi. But I think what I'm going to do is cast Death Greeter's Champion first. So they don't know the Teferi's coming. And I'm going to put the counter on the Voldaren Epicure. And then I'm going to attack them. Because if they put the counter on a knight token, they just bounce the knight. That seems a lot worse. Okay, yeah, they're bouncing a knight either way. I mean, they can't have too much more, I wouldn't imagine. All right. They have the card they drew off Monarch plus the card that was in their hand already. They played Colonnade, then used the Research Desk. It'd be so funny if their last card was a land. Oh, no, they have another spell. Unexpectedly Absent. Okay. That's fine with me. They go to 7. I get the Monarch. And then Teferi. Bounce the Construct, draw a card, draw another card off Monarch. They can play Urza. They can't take the Monarch. They can force me to block the Giver by equipping Skull Clamp. They did have the Flage. They tapped so they can't bring it back, though. Though they might just be playing Urza anyway. Yeah, Flage is pretty good, because now they get to steal the Monarchy as well. If I draw Arena of Glory, it will be really good. Funnily enough. Ocelot Pride? I don't understand. They played Ocelot Pride. I mean, they are going to gain life. They could have... Yeah, they could have played Urza and then played those two. That was a massive error on their part. Basically, they could just cast Urza first and then use the artifact mana. That would have been quite a bit better. These have Trample, which is nice. I think I'm going to attack with both. They're at 10. I'm at 6, and they have a Flage they can bring back, which I don't really like, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. All right, yeah. And I can play a couple things here. So if they bring back Flage, I need 2 blockers left to not die, which I should be able to do pretty easily. Okay, now that they're blocking, that makes it even less likely that I'm gonna die. Wow, they have a Skull Clamp out? They're blocking with a bunch of tokens. Okay, I guess they're worried about getting burned out. That's fair. Land. I think I'm gonna play just all 3 of my creatures and just not have Mana Tithe. Plains, Voldaren Epicure. The Mana Tithe is not doing anything this game, I'll tell you that much. Hero, Bladehold, and Smuggler's Copter. Alright. Then I draw a card off Monarch end of turn, and let's see how this goes. It's going to be a close one. They can't kill me with Colonnade Skull Clamp because of the Smuggler's Copter. Fabled not looking like it's going to do too much here. Really what I want to find is just like Burst Lightning or something. They don't have any end of turn plays. Well, they have one card in their hand. They could have something. No, I have a Teferi out. There's not that much they could actually be doing here. So what is their play next turn? Oh, wait, they can't kill me with Colonnade Skull Clamp because Giver will knock the Skull Clamp off if they want to give it protection from colorless. Okay. And they can't activate Colonnade and Flage me. They're 2 mana short of that. Okay, they're bringing back Flage. If they have that plus another burn spell, then yes, I will lose. I mean, the Flage is a huge problem next turn too. But I can only take this a turn at a time. Yeah, I'm at 2. They're at 10. They're going to get some Ocelot Pride tokens end of turn. I do have Caracas, which answers Flage as a blocker for this turn, but they're going to have 2 more tokens. Oh, and they have another card? Or are they just Equipping Clamp? Equipping Clamp is not a big deal. No, they do have another card. It's a Figure of Destiny. I'm playing against 2 red-white decks? All right. I mean, they just have Figure and Ocelot, Pride, and Giver. Wow, this deck was Mother of Rune's wheeled, but there's 3 people drafting red at our table. I don't really understand how that happened. And also, I have all the red-white lands, though this person looks like they have plenty of duels. I guess my last opponent did not, most likely, is kind of how it had to be. All right, they have no cards in hand. I don't know what they're considering here. I guess they could clamp the Figure, but that doesn't really make sense given the context of the game, because they would have just clamped that first, and also, they just need to survive next turn to replay Flage. Okay, let's see if I can draw something awesome. Yeah, Usher of the Fallen. So currently I can bounce Flage. They have 5 blockers. Yeah, let's use Blood Token. Let's discard Mana Tithe. I don't really care that they see it. Sometimes that can cause more damage anyway. Let's use Blood Token. Let's discard Usher. Maybe draw something. Arena of Glory. There's times where that would have been good, but the current situation does not look good. So let's see. If I attack, I'll attack with 6 things. They'll block, and they have Giver, so it's just really not going to work. Equip Crew Copter, I guess. And attack with these 2. And I will loot. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for here, but I mean, Seasoned Pyro is close. I'll bounce the Flage. And then I die. Yeah. Yeah, not a whole lot I can do about Flage, huh? Do I want Shadowy Backstreet here? Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have just been playing it anyway. It's pretty nice having a Scryland. All right, let's go to game 2. All right, on the play here. Well, I mean, this is a hand. On the play, turn 1 Usher, turn 2 Revoker with Wasteland and 4 Theorlingus. Yeah, this is exactly what we're looking for. Let's play Usher here. Ship the turn. The Teferi Splash has been good, by the way. I've liked how that's worked out. Figure of Destiny on turn 1? Or Prismatic Ending. One of those 2. That's unfortunate. I would hoped it was Figure, but let's play Revoker. And I'm trying to think what I want to name here. There wasn't a whole lot. I guess I'll name Karn. Sign of Urza. Island Plains. I really don't want to get miscalc. This 4 Theorlingus is like my only piece of action. And they have miscalculation in their deck. And no more lies. Let's just wait and see if they tap out for something, maybe that I can burst and then untap and cast a 4 Theorlingus or something along those lines. Like, what if they Flage my Revoker here? Okay, they did not. Wasteland your Steam Vents. Good for 2. Now, if I draw a blue source, then playing Teferi would be a pretty nice way to play around counters. All right, they've got a fetch themselves. And if I draw something a little weaker, then I might play it. Oh, that's close, but their counter is going to be a 2-mana counter, so I really don't think I want to do this yet. Now I have a dream scenario, though. End of turn, on their turn, they're going to get a tap line. A Meticulous Archive here is my guess. Then I'm going to, and they're going to untap, and they're going to slam a 4-drop. I'm going to Mana Tithe it, and then draw a land and 4 Theorlingus. So I'm even going to draw the island, you know, while we're calling cards here. Okay, they do not want Otawara. I might have cut him off of red mana. Wasteland on Steam Vents seems like it could have been a nice one. Ether Spellbomb, huh? Okay. Don't think I'm supposed to Mana Tithe that. Ooh, this I will cast. And if they counter it, which they will be tempted to do, I get to clock them for 6 here. All right. Mana Tithe, no more lies. Death Greeter takes 6, and then now they're going to be forced to tap out because they can't really ignore 7 points of damage on the board when they're at 7. I mean, they have an Ether Spellbomb, I guess, but I have a Burst Lightning and a 4th Earlingus. This actually feels like we're in great shape here. Like, there's obviously ways this could go wrong, but our first opponent had all the Wrath. They had Balance, Wrath of God, Sunfall, so there's like a Dam in the cube and not a whole lot more when it comes to like White Sweepers. They don't have red mana. My little turd ball has done a lot of damage to them. They took a little bit of, oh, there's their red. Okay. Jace the Mind Sculptor, huh? Bounce the Phyrexian Revoker, I guess. And then either like probably end up bouncing both of them, but this isn't the best play here. Like, these are both pretty resistant to bounce spells. This has haste, and this gets if this gets bounced, I'll just name Jace the Mind Sculptor. All right. I guess they get to bounce at instant speed this way. Land. I could also just make 3 tokens. That actually seems better. Because if I make 3 tokens here, I can send 1 at Jace, and I can send the rest at them, and they have to bounce Death Greeter's Champion, or they just die. So, attack Jace the Mind Sculptor, attack my opponent. Attack my opponent. So, opponent, Jace, opponent. Yeah, so they're basically forced to Ether Spellbomb a Death Greeter's Champion, go to 3, and okay, they could do that too. They could just die. Sure. I'm not going to complain about that. And game 3 time. Let's do it. The scrappy deck that could. All right, time for game 3. Yeah, I will keep this hand on the draw. I've got Mana Tithe for their 2-drop if they do play one. And then I've got turn 2 Glimmer Lens and or Revoker. Oh, 4th Earlingus, always a welcome draw. And if they try to play a Talisman or something, boom, got him. Ocelot Pride, that's pretty annoying. Let's go ahead and crack this and get the Shadowy Backstreet. Teferi. I think I'll just bin that because I don't have blue mana. And I just cracked my Flooded Strand. Land. Let's just go Glimmer Lens here. Try to keep this Ocelot Pride to a minimum. If I get Spell Pierced, it's going to be so annoying. And then next turn, I can play Revoker and Mother of Runes. And then from there, Pyroglyph. I will probably lose if the 2 games where they cast Ancestral on turn 2. I mean, game 1 was a grind, but drawing 3 cards for 1 mana is pretty good in that kind of game. If they have an answer to the Glimmer Lens and get to make a token here, it is pretty annoying. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's okay. All right. And then I mean, they have Jace and Karn, and I think I just have to name one. Oh, I guess I'll just revoke the card they have in play. So let's do that. Retro Fitter Foundry. Play Mother of Runes. And then next turn I have a Pyroglyph that's a 4/5. That would be pretty nice. They do get to hit with Ocelot Pride again, but I'm glad I revoked the Retrofitter, because if they could make a token with Retrofitter, the Pride would copy that token as well once they get up to 10 permanents. Right? No red mana yet. I'm hoping to lead on Pyroglyph. They kept a card on top. I don't love that. And then play 4th later, but we'll see what they play. Prismatic Ending, the Mother of Runes. Yeah. All right. Take 1. And not quite City's Blessing here. If they have a counter for this Pyroglyph, I'm not loving it. Oh, I could give it haste. I actually don't really want to, so I don't really want to show them that. So let's just play the Pyroglyph. I don't really want to exert because I think there's a decent chance this just gets countered. Yeah. Remanded. All right. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose. They went Ancestral Recall into answer your thing, answer your thing, answer your thing. That's what the card does. So they have 3, 6, 7. Yeah, they're going to make bunch of tokens here. Guess I'll take it next turn and I can Pyrogoyf the Giver of Runes, I suppose. Will be my plan, but All-Star Pride, what a messed up card, huh? Just played that, killed 2 of my things, countered my next thing, and then losing pretty badly. Because now they get to play Virtue, and then the Pride is going to make a Virtue copy too. 3 tokens out of their 1 card. Oh, Kumano faces Kakazan. They don't know that I still have a Kumano faces Kakazan coming. Okay, at least it resolved. I'll kill the Giver. I think the Givers were important to kill here. If they have other ways to gain life, that will be annoying, but right now I can stop the Ocelot Pride with the Pyrogoyf. I mean, they're just going to cast Virtue here, and I guess I can't win. Yeah, Virtue was pretty good there. It was 2 knights, and then next turn it's going to give 7 counters a turn. I guess my out was to not play Kumano faces Kakazan and just leave up Mana Tithe. Yeah, it's possible they wouldn't have played Virtue into that, but I suppose that would have been one way to try to win. I don't think this is going to work out. Oh, they had the land. There's no way they were going to... If I had a mana up, they would play their land first. At least I would like to hope that they would do that. Now they all get a counter. But now the next turn I cast something, I get a counter. All right, let's cast 4 Theorlingus and pass the turn. And then what are they going to do? I have 6 blockers, so they're probably not attacking me yet. Also, if they can ever kill this Revoker and start making Retrofitter tokens, it's going to be pretty bad. Land. And what you got? Luris. Replay Ether Spellbomb. All right. This is enough. All right. Well, didn't win round 2. Got round 1. Better than yesterday and or the other day when I got dunked on savagely. And honestly, my deck was worse than both the decks I played against. Maybe not the first deck. They didn't really seem like they had much of a game plan. Definitely worse than this deck. This deck had way better cards than mine. And again, the both games where they opened on Ancestral, this deck didn't really have that much that could get across that. So I didn't. And you know what? That'll do it for today. I appreciate you hanging out, and maybe we're clawing our way back to a respectable win rate. We'll see about that. But I'll be back tomorrow with another draft, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.